While on your questing journey throughout Tarkov, you'll notice that quests are divided into a couple different groups. Quests that require you to get kills, quests that require you to plant special items or walk through areas, and quests that require you to turn in certain items. The killing quests are usually based around skill and patience, which means you can't get these quests baby fed to you unless you've got massive streamer privilege or get very lucky. The quests that require you to plant items or walk through certain areas just requires map knowledge and knowing when it's safe to walk through the area. And the quests that require you to turn in stuff just requires you to, well, find items and turn them in. Now, there's a good amount of quests that interchange certain aspects of these groups together and mixes them all up, but today we're going to specifically talk about the quests that require you to turn in specific items. Now, that might sound like a dumb video idea at first. The quest literally tells you what to turn in. Why should you have any issues? Well, this video isn't necessarily for when you're on the quest, but the prep for the quest before you get there. Because the worst feeling is finding and getting all the items you need for a quest in the future, not realizing you need them, dropping the item or selling it to a trader. Then when you finally get to that quest, you realize you needed it all along. And knowing how Tarkov works, as soon as you need the item, you won't ever be able to find it again. The most tragic scenario I can think of related to this would be realizing that the quest Crisis is now required and selling the rest of your found and raid LEDXs. Anyways, I'm going to go over all the items required found and raid for KAPPA, and I'll show you an extremely helpful spreadsheet from the Tarkov wiki so you can check these off for your next wipe. A great thing to note is that the Tarkov wiki ends up updating these later during the wipes, so if you ever need an updated version, just go there and check it out. Quickly before we get into the video, if you need any help with anything related to my channel, feel free to stop by my streams or join my Discord. You can ask me whatever you want through there, and I'll try to answer you as fast as possible. I just ask that you give me some time to finish up what I'm doing. Alright, let's get into the video. Starting off, I want to clarify that I'm not specifically going over any items that aren't required found in raid. You can just buy these at the flea market or barter them. I also won't be going over the quest for them either. I'll probably mention the name of the quest for the item, but I won't be covering it in the tutorial-like sense. This video is going to be mainly going over the general spots or containers for each of the items, but not every spot ever, since there's so many of these items. Alright, to start off, we're going to cover items that are easily findable or craftable. This means items like bleach, Clin, spark plugs, and corrugated hoses. Mainly low-tier barter items. All these items can be found in the same areas like toolboxes and technical crates, the wooden ones. The items you're going to need and the amount you're going to need of them are 1 small WD-40, the 100mm one, 2 Clin window cleaner, 2 bleach, 2 alkali, 4 corrugated hoses, 2 propane tanks, 3 gas analyzers, 4 car batteries, 4 T-plugs, 3 rechargeable batteries, 3 broken G-phones, 2 power cords, 5 wires, 4 fuel conditioners, 1 tank battery, yes, tank batteries can spawn in technical crates apparently, and 8 spark plugs. Again, these items are all pretty common besides the car batteries and gas analyzers early wipe, and all these can be found in the same areas. You can also craft everything here listed besides the propane and alkaline, but you'll get the 2 propane you need from completing a fuel matter on reserve or the huntsman path justice on customs. And for the alkaline, you can only get 1 from quests, and it's from a non-required quest called No Swiping on Shoreline. It's not too hard of a quest, and just requires you to kill 25 enemies, so scavs and players, inside the new expanded area on Shoreline. But by the time you get to Spot Tour Part 7, you should probably already have the 2 alkaline cleaner anyways. Tank batteries might seem a little misplaced here, but it's mainly because they actually can spawn in techno crates as I just mentioned. It's much rarer, but apparently it's possible. Just in case that's not true and the wiki's wrong, the main way you're probably going to stumble across these batteries is either from airdrops, spawning in with it on a scav, or getting it through the scav case. There's also a couple good spawns to check on reserves in the underground food bunker, on the shelves in the middle and on the sides, and in the garage on top of the barrel, right next to the cars of the Loot House Chalet on Lighthouse. I have a loot house guide that I posted a little bit ago, and I'm pretty sure that spawn was mentioned in there. I'm personally going to recommend looking up a video on tank battery spawns if you really want to go and look for them, but the quest that requires them doesn't lead to anything afterwards, so don't sweat it. The only reason you might want to complete that quest as soon as possible is if you want to be able to barter for the Ash 12 or buy PS12B from Prepper. The broken G-phones, T-plugs, and returnable batteries can also be found pretty often in filing cabinets. Some of these next items have open spawns near the items I just listed, but I decided to split them up into this group because they are all commonly found together. This group is mainly food items, which are found in food crates, open spawns on tables or inside houses, and random containers like duffel bags, dead scavs, and on AI scavs. You're going to need 5 Marlboro, 5 Wilson, and 5 Strike cigarettes, 3 Iskras, 2 instant noodles, 2 tall Tashankas, 15 small Tashankas, 1 Sprats, 1 mayo, 1 Lupo beans, 1 40-second tea, 1 rat cola, and 1 sausage. All 3 cigarettes can be found in food crates and other various containers. You can also use Apollo cigarettes to craft Wilsons at Nutrition Unit Level 2. Iskras and small Tashankas can also be crafted at Nutrition Unit Level 1. Moving on to medical items like meds, vitamins, and morphine. You'll find these in medical crates, med boxes, and med bags. These items also have a lot of loose spawns as well. This won't include rare items like LEDXs, even though these can be found in these containers as well, mainly because I'm separately going to go over this later. These items are 20 meds, 10 Ololo vitamins, 8 morphine, 3 Salewas, 3 blood sets, 2 CMS surgery kits, and 4 ophthalmoscopes. I was debating putting ophthalmoscopes in this category, but I've been finding them more and more these last couple wipes. If you're having problems finding these, make sure you check out the rare spawns I mentioned later, which will most likely have the same spawns as the ophthalmoscopes. Since all of these can commonly be found in medical containers, I'm not going to individually go over each of them, but I will recommend going somewhere like Resort if you want to get a ton of meds in one run, or Streets. A lot of the rooms there have med bags or med cases even if you don't have keys. Now these next items are technically medical items, but they aren't easily found with the grouped items above, so I decided to subgroup them. These items are all stims, and some of them are exceptions, which I'll explain in a minute. Those stims are 2 3BTGs, 1 L1, 1 P22, 2 AHF1s, 1 Meldonin, 1 Adoblos, and 1 Meal. One of each of these are required for samples, but the extra 3BTG and AHF1 can technically be required depending on what quest you decide to complete. The two deciding quests for that are the Huntsman Pass Sadist, which is just requiring you to kill Sanitar, or Colleagues Part 3, which requires those extra stims, 10 Found and Raid Labs access cards, and not killing Sanitar. Depends on if you want to grind out those 10 extra Labs access cards, but if you do that quest, you'll get Black Card, which is an extremely good Labs card, it's just always super contested. This card will also make it a lot easier to get your samples done. An interesting section of these required items are specific body armors, masks, and gear requirements. Most of these will be found on scavs, in weapon boxes, ground caches, jackets, or from quest rewards. These gear items are 1 Pilgrim Backpack, 7 half masks, 1 Module 3M armor, 4 respirators, 2 Ushankas, 2 cowboy hats, 1 ski hat with holes for eyes, the Shmashka, 2 black rock rigs, 2 Wartech TV rigs, 1 antique axe, 1 DRD body armor, 1 Glorious E lightweight mask, 1 John B glasses, 1 mustache, 1 smoke balaclava, 1 baddie beard, 1 Pestily plague mask, 1 cotton beanie, 1 shroud half mask, 2 6v13 body armors, the floor ones work as well, and 5 bars A2607 knives, the brown handled ones. There are some exceptions here, so let me go over them real quick. The exceptions are the Killa helmet, the boss cap, the antique axe, and the bars A2607 brown handled knives. The Killa helmet you get from killing Killa, and the boss cap can be found on Tagilla or Scavs. I'm also going to include the antique axe and the 5 A2607 knives, because these are commonly found on Scavs and you might as well knock them out at the same time. If you're a returning player, you might have noticed that I didn't mention the Fat Ass Zabralo armor. At this current moment in the wipe, BSG decided to swap them out with the 6B13 body armor since they were insanely hard to find and the quest to unlock them were way later into the game. They might end up switching these back, but I hope they don't since that part of the quest sucked anyways. The rest of these items are pretty common to find, you just have to kill a bunch of Scavs. The only items that might suck to find are the Black Rocks or the Streamer items. The Black Rocks mainly spawn on Raiders or Guards, but can be found in weapon containers, and the Streamer items are mainly found on Scavs, inside duffel bags, or jackets. This next section is super short since they can all be found on computers. Those items are 5 printed circuit boards, 15 CPU fans, 3 CPUs, 5 capacitors, and 3 graphics cards. Graphics cards are decently rare, but you can find them maybe once every 2 raids if you find an area with a lot of computers, like the offices on labs, or the back rooms on interchange. You also get 1 graphics card from completing the chemistry closet, which is nice. The rest of these all have a similar spawn rate inside the PCs, and they're pretty common, so I'm not going to go over specific spawns. We're going to be going over weapons/weapon related items next. There's not many, and you can get some of these from quests, or you can craft them. These items are 3 6L31 60 round mags, 1 AK-74N, 1 M4A1, 1 Taj shotgun, 2 PM or PMT pistols, 5 OFZs, and 1 golden TT. The TAS and PM/PMT pistols are very easy to find on Scavs, or you can find them on weapon boxes. Everything else here besides the golden TT can be crafted. The M4A1 is required for Punisher Part 5, but what's nice is that completing Punisher Part 4 actually gives you the weapon. You can strip all the attachments off it and you can turn it right in. The AK-74N is a super easy craft at Workbench level 1. The OFZs can be crafted at Workbench level 3, which is a decent bit later into the game, but remember, that quest doesn't lead to anything. And the 6L31 60 round magazines can be crafted at the level 2 laboratory. The final item, the golden TT, is only found in Rashala, which isn't even a 100% guarantee, so good luck. These items that I'm about to mention can all be found in safes. These can also be found in valuable loose ground spawns and in areas like marked rooms and duffel bags. These items are 5 flash drives, 2 bronze lions, 2 antique vase, 1 cat figurine, 2 horse figurines, 3 antique teapots, 1 roller watch, 2 golden eggs, 3 raven figurines, 3 Axel figurines, 1 Veritas pick, 1 VHS cassette tape, 1 antique book, 1 badge, 1 Bake Easy cookbook, and 1 golden rooster. You'll get 2 flash drives from the Huntsman Path Evil Watchman, and 1 roller from either Chumming or Friend from the West Part 1. The rest you'll have to find in a raid, or from the scav box, but they all aren't too uncommon. These next items are a pain to find, so get ready to spend a lot of your time looking for them. These are high valuable loot spawns, and most, if not all, can spawn in the same spots. Labs, lighthouse, and streets are going to be your best options for finding these. These items are 1 SGC-10, 1 RFID reader, 1 VPX, 2 vertexes, 3 LEDXs, and 4 defibrillators. These items have a lot of open spawns on streets, labs, and lighthouse. But for the other maps, you usually need a key, like Resort. Streets is the best map for rare loot spawns, since there's so many open spawns, but lighthouse is pretty good too. You just have a lot of ground you need to cover, take care of the rogues if you want the extra loot inside the compound, and you have to worry about player scavs. Lighthouse is pretty rough PMC-wise unless you know the map pretty well, but doing a scav run on it should be fine for anyone. Labs is actually probably the best option solely for LEDXs, since it's a small condensed map with a ton of high value loot spawns. The only issue is that it's labs, and there's a ton of cheaters. Streets overall is still the best though. I would love to fully recommend it, but the FPS is just so bad it's hard to. Okay, we're almost done. Now we just have the final couple items which are all required for KAPPA, and then there's one more section that has a couple items which I couldn't figure out how to group up. You can find some of these items on scavs, duffel bags, marked rooms, jackets, and invaluable loose ground spawns. Those items are 1 Whirler's Wallet, 1 Rat Poison, 1 Bear Buddy, 1 Gingy Keychain, 1 Fire Steel, 1 Fire Clean, 1 Beard Oil, 1 Golden G-Phone, 1 Press Pass, 1 Dana's Forklift Key, 1 Loot Lord, and 1 Evasion Armband. Once again, most of these have the same loot pool, so most of these will spawn together. The Gingy Keychain, Dana's Forklift Key, and Evasion Armband can all be found in jackets, while the rest of them you'll probably find in duffels or marked rooms. Okay, finally the actual last part of the guide. The Labs access cards and the Sherman Key. The Labs access cards can be found on bosses, scavs, and player scavs. 3 of them come from the Huntsman Path Woodskeeper, and 7 of them can come from special equipment, but you're probably not doing that quest, so pretend I didn't say anything. Then obviously, the Sherman Key comes from killing and looting Sherman's pockets. I'm going to make an exception for this list and mention dog tags, but none of these are needed found in raid. You're going to need 14 USEC dog tags and 7 bear dog tags in total. The levels don't matter, so just keep your lowest leveled ones and do what you want with the rest. Alright, that's it. We finally got through all the items. Here's a checklist with all the items so you can check them off as you go along. I rewrote the actual number needed just for KAPPA, but the rest of this was done by the Tarkov wiki, so credit where credit's due. Anyways, hopefully this helped, and if it did, feel free to leave a like, comment, or subscribe. If you want to help out more, you can also join the members program. It's just for supporting the channel and there's no actual benefits. You'll get some badges for the streams, a cool Discord role, and maybe early access to videos if I decide to upload them early enough. Just remember that this is a subscription-based model, so please remember to cancel whenever you're done. Also, if you need any help with anything content-wise, feel free to join my streams whenever I'm live, or hop in my Discord and you can reach me through there. Alright, I'm finally done talking. Thanks for watching, and hopefully, I'll see you around.